ladies and gentlemen, Skillet coming to you from X4 Foundations. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. And that's right, we're going to be talking about mines. Now, you might be asking, well, Skillet, why are we talking about mines? They're practically useless. And you know what? I don't think you're wrong at this point. I honestly don't. But I do think there could be a use. And it's not a combat use. It is a choke point use. And the choke point is gates. And phase 1 is understanding how they work. Or, little side note, coming to the realization that you don't understand how gates work for large craft and extra large craft, and it's just random. Because once you get to the fact that it's random for incoming traffic, then you can pretty much okay. First off, the trial and error for this video has been great. It's been frustrating, and I am not gonna let it. Oh, I'm gonna put the challenge out to you guys. Now, challenge is use mines, and there's a big and here, and laser towers for defensive or gate bottlenecking procedures. And I'm going to say why. Well, I'm going to give the reason why, right? So let's go into mines. There are only 3, as most of us do know. There are only 3 mines in X4 Foundations. Now, the mine. Super dangerous. It's dangerous to you. It's dangerous to everybody else. This is no target designation, right? It doesn't care who you are. It will explode. It'll kill you, which, in my trial and error, it did happen once, and I never used them ever again, but it did happen once. They don't care. They will explode. They do not care. Tracker mines. They don't care either. Actually, they don't. It could be you. It could be Xenon. It could be Argon. Whoever. As long as you're slow enough and it can catch you with its little maneuver, it can and will attack you. So, after I failed my attempt with the mine, I immediately just went to friend foe mine, because friend foe has the ability to designate targets. Now, let's talk about the differences. Other than that, practically there are no differences. Except for the mine, its proximity detonation is 150 meters. Tracker and friend foe is 80 meters. But everything else, the hull integrity, detonation output, it's the same, right? Now, in my attempts, what I did, see? You see where that guy came in? No sense. What I did was, on either flank of the gate, so wherever these pylon things are, right? I, in my Chimera, very limited number of mines, I placed 25 and 25 with the idea and thought process that, Egosoft fix the issue. They come in and out on the sides of the gate, right? I've seen it. It happens. Well, maybe at one point I lost track of that, because as we see this little gentleman back here, he's going to go behind the gate and exit the system. Anybody coming into the system or sector is going to come in on the periphery, or, as we just saw with that guy, in front of the gate. Now, in my error of just doing the sides of the gate and not realizing this, I've looked at a number. I've done this for a while, by the way. I have watched a gate and come to the conclusion I don't understand how the in-out works, other than out is behind the gate, in is somewhere around the sides or in front of gate. So, with laser towers and friend-foe mines, I believe you can have a very effective bottleneck in stopping K's, in stopping I's. Pretty much the eye itself, right? Because let's take a look. An eye on its own is 34,000 hull integrity. You can add whatever onto it. It doesn't, I mean, you've got a lot to punch through. But what laser towers typically do, right, is go after hard points. Once hard points are taken care of, then it'll switch to the ship itself, right? So let's figure this out. This is, well, we've seen some, not fully. Well, let's just do all the shields, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. This is why eyes are scary. Okay, so its max shielding is 615.35. Its average shield grouping is 15,000. Its recharge rate's 118. Recharge delay 0.55. It's a tough nut to crack, especially for laser towers. Even fleets, an eye is still a tough nut to crack. We haven't even done the turrets. We don't care about the turrets. It cares about the shield and the hull. Let's say you have your field of defenses. Let's say you have those defensive stations, because even with a static defense line, right, of stations, an eye with 3 and sometimes 4 Ks can melt your station. I am proposing and challenging. What about mines? Ecosoft has them in the game. They gave them use with 6.2. Not a very effective use, because even if you use them and you use the friend foe, most of the ships that you fight are M and S class ships. They are too fast, too agile. The only ones you can try to affect here are Ks, Ps, anything large and extra large. That's really where you're going to get the bang for your buck, because without investing a fleet and having losses, you might be able to recoup the losses depending on where you are in your game. It could just be a hassle, right? Or maybe your fleet's not there and your station's still being built, or a plethora of other reasons. I really want this to work. Just like I want the Barracuda to have a purpose, I want mines now to also have a purpose. So that's my challenge to me. The Barracuda could be just a lost cause. Maybe the mines are too. Maybe the mines are just useless. But if you've ever went to, was it Faulty Logic, right? Yeah, Faulty Logic 7, and you got the free Odysseus. And if you've tried to pilot that Odysseus out of the system before, you may have done it successfully. You may have went back again, tried it again, and your engines were gone because of the minefields. When you're out of sector, mines don't work. In Faulty Logic, for an example, there could be a minefield here. That alligator's going to go there and mine. He's going to be stationary. It's not going to affect him. The moment I get in that sector is when all hell will break loose. Because at that point, algorithm turns on, mines work, boom, dead alligator. Or dead me, depending on if there's mines around the superhighways. But challenge out there to you guys. In a combination of laser towers, maybe a defensive station, mines. Try it out. I'm going to try it out. Now, out of all the attempts, I only had one successful attempt. That was against M and S-class ships. There was roughly around about 5. Okay, there was a P and... Oh, was it 2 Ps? Maybe it was 2 Ps and 3 Ms. I do remember the M's outnumbering the medium. So maybe it was 4 M's and 1 P. But the only way it was successful, and it wasn't even a full success, they clumped up the friend foe mines, targeted them. It was 3 mines. They exploded. The ships were brought down to half health, or half hull strength. Agile ships aren't the targets. It's large and extra large craft. Let's not even talk about Xenon. If you guys are fighting a faction, do you think that would work? Do you think, well, you have to be in sector, but you can't do it out of sector. So while you're in sector, you place your minefield. Will it work? Have you guys used that technique before? I challenge you. I challenge you to try. I'm going to try.
I was asked to drop my cargo.
I'm not going to try it with ships in that same sector because mines explode. Explosive radius is a thing. I don't want my ships damaged or battered or broken, or I don't want them to die, right? Because the challenge is to be able to halt or stop a large, extra large craft. Maybe at that point your laser towers, your defensive stations can take advantage of the disabled craft. Not only that, but maybe they can also take the advantage of, or a fleet, I'm sorry. Maybe a fleet could then take advantage of the disabled craft. You can have a fleet on the wing waiting for that to happen. Because once the engines are gone, it's a whole lot easier. The ship can't rotate. The ship can't turn. It can't place its main guns. It's just its turrets at that point. Let me know what you guys think. If you're going to accept the challenge, if you've done it before. Because out of my attempts, it's only worked once. I've killed myself once. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. It's been frustrating. Other than that, I think they're useless. Yeah. I'm pretty... There's no reason for you to have a mine in your inventory and drop it. In a combat scenario, because you're going up against S and M class ships, for your personal craft, laser towers are probably the way to go. But for a static bottleneck, like a gate, or even in approach to your defensive station, a combination of mines and laser towers might make a difference. Because some of you may know, and most of us have had this happen, where Hatikva's choice will fall. The Xenon can go rampant and demolish. And I am still surprised it has not happened. But this is Skillet signing out for now. The next Fires of Defeat episode, it will be coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. That should be where we finish the Vengeance mission. And at that point, we might be able to conclude that series and go to another series. There's going to be another poll if what you guys want to see. But this is going to be Skillet signing out for now. I will see you guys again.